It's Song Talk Radio.
Welcome to Song Talk Radio, the show with songwriters talking to other songwriters about the craft of songwriting. We share tips, tools, and techniques, and together we all become better at writing songs. I'm your host, Neil Modi, and with me, my co-host, Phil Emery. How you doing, Phil?
I am good, but I have made the mistake of throwing out cables. And of course, the cables that I've thrown out are the ones that turns out I need. So I have to buy them again.
Oh my God, musicians don't throw out cables. What is that?
Well,
Never.
At the house, I had a huge bin of all these cables, and I went through and cleaned them out before we moved. And then I thought, well, I've cleaned them out, but of course I'm reducing a lot of stuff because I don't have much space now. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I won't need this DisplayPort cable anymore. And it turns out that I do. So I have to buy it yet again. So
of course.
That's spouses, if you're wondering why your musician partner does not want to throw out cables, that's why.
I to be honest, Phil, I think I might have an extra DisplayPort to HDMI cable if that's what you need.
Oh, well, too late now.
I can just give you because it's just sitting there. I haven't used it in years. But I think the last time I went through my bin, there was like a phone cable in there. There was some coaxial cables for sure. I'm like, what? I don't know what I would ever use this for in the future.
I had a FireWire 400 cable, which I'm pretty sure nothing I have works with that plug anymore. So I threw that out, and I'm pretty confident that'll be okay. But who knows?
It's the way it goes. All right. For everyone else, please send your comments, your questions, the contents of your cable bins to at Songtalk Radio on Facebook or Instagram. Feedback at songtalk.ca for the email, and we'll share your thoughts on the show. And please visit songtalk.ca to see the show post for this episode, to find links to resources we mentioned, and to download lyric and chord sheets to follow along with the songs that we feature. Today, we're very pleased to welcome Steve Tobin of the Canadian nu metal band Fatal Switch to the show. How you doing, Steve?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. How you doing, Neil?
Pretty good. Thanks for joining us on the show. We're very excited. We don't usually on this program we get pop, folk, rock, maybe sometimes jazz, whatever.
Country.
But I don't think we've country. Yeah, lately we've been getting more country. I don't think we've ever had a nu metal.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the first metal band. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe I think we might have had something way back when in the before times, but certainly not certainly since COVID. So very excited.
Well, I'm absolutely honored in that case. That makes it even that much more special.
So listeners, get ready to have your ears blown apart. Before we get to the nu metal stuff, another heads up for our songwriting challenge for 2026, which is to write a nu metal song. No, to write a traditional country song. That should be our songwriting challenge next year.
That's next year.
This will be the ramp up to that.
I endorse it.
Yeah, sure. But you should do our challenge and write a traditional country song. Right. So you can check out the post on songtalk.ca for songwriting challenges. Check out our launch episode a few months ago now, and as usual as we've done for the last several years now, Phil and I will share our answers to the challenge sometime in the fall, and our listeners' answers to the challenge as well. So exciting times coming up, and the summer's started, so now's the time to really get hunkering down and start writing your song.
Yes. Well, some people have already finished and sent it off to us.
And sent it in, and we are collating them, the entries. So, it'll be a little while before we share them, but it's there.
Yeah, but we will play pretty well every song I think that we get. Sometimes it's a few shows, but we definitely do play every song, so it's good fun.
Yeah, in the past we've done up to 3 or 4 episodes just on a lot of listeners' entries.
They were great.
The challenge, which is kind of amazing. Okay, and another little announcement: our former guest Julian Taylor has won SOCAN Foundation's Black Canadian Music Awards.
Awesome.
For people to watch. It was like the people to watch list. The dude's been doing this for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And he's on here comes Julian Taylor. No, he's been around for a while. But congratulations, Julian.
He's
It's
great.
amazing. And yeah, and he's an incredible artist. I've been following him for quite a while now. And yeah, it's great. Okay, so on to the main event. Black Sky Anthem out today. Is it today? It's already out, right?
It came out on last Friday, the 26th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Black Sky Anthem, which came out last Friday, is Fatal Switch's most ambitious and fully realized release to date. Marking the first time the band has written and recorded as a unified unit, the album represents a complete creative rebirth. Following their debut, Steve Tobin rebuilt Fatal Switch from the ground up, assembling a lineup driven not only by intensity, but by a shared commitment to exceptional songwriting. Recorded at Uplift Recording Studios and produced by Kevin Jardine, Slaves on Dope, Black Sky Anthem captures a band fully in command of its identity. Jardine's extensive production credits include work with members of Korn, Papa Roach, Limp Bizkit, 311, In Flames, Cypress Hill, Beastie Boys, Faith No More, Mastodon, Run-DMC, Anthrax, and Se-pul-tur-a, brings a polished yet aggressive edge to the album. The band will be hitting the road in support of the release. Fans can catch them live with tour dates and venue information. And we'll be sharing your links to stuff towards the end of the show. But first, we'll be talking to Steve about Fatal Switch's song, What Would a Hero Do? Be sure to download the lyric sheet on the show post at songtalk.ca to follow along. Let's take a listen.
On your chains, crazier than Joe Budge with a pen. Come to take all you pay. Locked in a crate, they getting your hate, inflating the cake rate off your plate. As pigs get covered in bomb blown blood, you take the money for your war. Hit on the floorboard, listen to the mentor, IRS collector. From my eyes, won't surrender to black magical law inventors. Fuck your talk, inventor of ventures, like you need to be dismembered. A psychotic, you got it. I treat you like you're idiotic. Very control of you. A psychotic, chaotic. Never thought what they started. What would a hero do? You're feeling a mind alive, bed full of lies, hoping that we forget that villains are filling their bills in a building and building the bombs of debt. You know they own the media, have amnesia, they got the price they dent while you living in a tent on cement, cause they own 99%. So listen all you people who gave an oath when you swore to protect us from these greedy money laws. 9/11 isn't working, what the fuck you waiting for? We grovel on the floor or light a vigil at your door. A psychotic, you got it. Treat you like you're idiotic. Very control of you. A psychotic, chaotic.
Very cool.
Very cool indeed, yes.
Thanks, guys.
So, how do you define new metal?
How do I define new metal? Well, new metal, it's really a mix of genres. It's really about blending the heavy sound with a little bit more of the hip hop culture and trying to get your own mix in there. You do have some new metal bands that don't rap; they're just purely melodic, and that's fine too. But they're trying to do something that's not so, I guess, growly and in your face. They're trying to kind of really get on that fine line between what is a heavy sound and what could also be, considered somewhat mainstream.
Oh, that's cool.
So are you always rapping and singing in your songs?
Myself, yeah. I've taken that approach. I was a rapper before I got into new metal.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah, so the metal came secondary, I guess, if you will. Which then led to...
Wasn't it Beastie Boys that went the other way? They started out heavy metal and then went into hip hop?
Well, they started out punk. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then it could go both ways, right?
Yeah, for sure. Of course. Yeah.
Do you find writing the rap lyrics? Well, I guess that was your first thing. So that's probably fairly easy because the rap lyrics are so rhythmically focused.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you have lyrics that are more melodically, you can hit, sort of play with the words a bit to kind of, make things fit. Whereas with rap stuff, it's very precise into the beat.
Mm-hmm.
It is. There's still a lot for me to learn, I would say. I think how you approach where you put your syllables, being on a beat, being off a beat, all those little kind of things are things that I'm still kind of having aha moments and realizations with, right? So it seems like it could be cut and dry, but it can really get quite in depth.
Yeah, because there's a lot of words, and of course the thing that amazes me about this song, and of course it's probably similar with all your songs if you're rapping and singing, is that there's such a high contrast between the verse sections and the chorus sections, because a lot fewer words in the chorus, right? Like there's only like a dozen words in the chorus as opposed to a dozen words per line in the verses. But for the most part, you've got the the rapping section is like really nailed down, and there's enough sort of kind of cool moments. Where was that one? Yeah, the greedy, needy, meanie, money.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of a cool moment, right? Like it's just these little spots that pull out as kind of extra special, right? So it's not so monotonous. And again, I wonder, I don't listen to a lot of hip hop, and some of the time, people say, well, it's you got to listen to the words, but sometimes you're delivering them at such a high rate, it's hard to digest, like what you're actually saying, so, in lieu of the lyric sheet, which we have in front of us, it might not be as easy to sort of pick up on those little things, but, yeah. Now, in your intro, it made you sound like you got a new lineup for the band, and it's a very collaborative sort of thing. So is it you writing all the songs, or is there a synergy going on within the band for the writing process?
Lyrically, it's myself that takes care of the lyrics, but we write all the songs together as a band. So you
come to the band with just lyrics, no melodic ideas, or
no? Well, it depends. We've done that. We rarely do that. We kind of mostly sit down and we'll try and kind of hear like a cool lick, a cool riff, a cool whatever, and then we try and build something out of it. Then I will typically go away and I'll write the lyrics to whatever we came up with instrumentally as a band.
Okay.
However, going the opposite way is also pretty powerful, and I got to start bringing that to the table a little bit more, because then you're giving a different kind of approach to how you write the song. And sometimes if you have the material there that's predefined and the subject matter, then the instrumentation can somewhat match the lyrics and not vice versa, right? So that's definitely something I'd like to do more.
What was the process of writing this song? Was it Was it a lyrical idea first, or?
It was more of an the lyrics came after. Yeah, it was an instrumental composition, and then the lyrics came afterwards.
Was there a lot of editing in terms of the song, in terms of like melodies or structure? Did you play around with it a lot, or was it basically just this?
No, I'm a perfectionist. I rather take a song and edit it 100 times than write 100 songs. So I will be very meticulous. I do a lot of research before I put pen to pad. So I will, like for this song, for example, I went on YouTube videos. I read comments from people on 9/11. I try to understand how people felt like who are oppressed or the whole, power struggle and power shift. And sometimes it could even just be like a comment in a YouTube video that inspires me for a line, right? So I try and do a lot of that before. I try and understand based on the music in this case, what it was saying to me, like how it was making me feel. And then from there, once I knew what I wanted to write about, then I'll go out and I'll do a bunch of research and then I'll start the writing process.
So when you and the band came up with the riffs for this, that said to you, this should be a song about the haves and the have-nots and the kind of 99 versus the 1% kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. So you didn't start off going, let's write a riff that's going to be a heavy duty protest song. Like that.
No. Yeah. The song just kind of spoke to me in that way. It felt like that anthem. It felt a little more on the epic side. So I felt like that's kind of direction it kind of pulled me towards.
Or go ahead, Phil.
Looking at your verse lines, because they are so heavily rhythmic, you sort of have your sort of rhythm kind of already set out and then try to put the words into that rhythm?
Sometimes, and that's a very good point, Phil. That is a tactic and a strategy. I'm going to start playing with it a little bit more as well. But yes, to kind of sometimes just mouth out without the words, just rhythmically where you want things to sit, is definitely a strategy that I use sometimes. And I'm pretty sure I did it with this song too at some points. Where
so you're just filling it with like blah blah blah, like da 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 da
blah blah, yeah, pretty much, yeah,
or nonsense. That's cool.
Like for example, that second half on the second verse, like I intentionally wanted it to feel a little bit like a pre-chorus to break up the monotony, and that's kind of where I found like the greedy, needy, meany, money whores. 9/11 isn't working with you waiting for. So it was kind of like that. I didn't have the words to it, but I knew what I wanted it to sound like there, right? So the intonations, the tone, the delivery came before I actually figured what the words would be.
That'd be a challenge.
Are all the songs kind of dark? I mean, it's heavy metal, right? So are all the songs of a negative, like you ever write a happy love song kind of thing?
Happy love song, no. Love song that's dark, yes. More comedic. We have some more comedic stuff. That's still a little bit more like geared towards corporate greed and corruption, but it's more on the comedy side. We have one song we were commissioned to write for a wrestling organization, so it's just like a fun wrestling song. It's still got that heaviness to it, but it's a little bit more lighter in content, right? So there's a ballad I wrote. My dad passed away, so I wanted to write a song for him. So there's a ballad song on there, which is a lot. Maybe I should have picked that one for this, but just in terms of like sonically, right? It's got a little bit more of an easier feel to it. So we try and kind of go up and down with the energy levels and try and, pick subjects, pick topics, but I guess it all depends. But yeah, it will gravitate a little bit more towards the heavier side or the more rougher side, I think, at least for me, because that's what the music is saying too, right? You've got heavy riffs, distortion, banging on the drums. I think it naturally invokes that kind of side of the songwriting. Yeah,
fair enough. You got, it'd be nice to have Trent Reznor on the podcast, because I'd be curious, if he starts with those, really dark, cinematic, epic, raunchy things. How would you not write really depressing,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
hard, bleak songs. I don't know.
I like that. I mean, one of the reasons I like the song is that it's got some good melodies, and I have listened to to some metal, and I mean, of course, like there's a huge variety of metal. It's not like it's one kind. It's from hair metal to blues infested stuff to the to things like Korn or like the screamcore, that kind of thing. But this has got a nice melody, and I think it's can be tough because the music is actually often very challenging to play because it's very tight, it's very complicated. The drums just aren't on like a snare on the 2 and the 4. There's lots of different time signatures. It's a complicated music, and I think sometimes bands can focus on kind of in some ways how much fun it is to play and how much fun it is to be challenged, and then forget about the fact that there needs to be melody and other aspects to it. And I thought this was quite successful in that.
Thank you. That's it's a big change from our first album, where the first album there was basically no melody, and this album I kind of pushed for that direction. I'm like, no, this is kind of the way I want to go. I wanted to make it, almost like when you have that melody there, it's almost like you could inject metal more into the mainstream, right? You make it a little bit more palatable to people.
For sure.
So for me, I definitely wanted to try that angle on this album, and it's proven to work out really well. It's a very common comment that we get.
Yeah, and it's true. Like often this happens at our meetup as well. If someone plays back a recording of a song or on this podcast, and it's heavily produced, right? And it's sometimes it's a little difficult to see past the genre, to see past the production, and just look at the bones of the song. Or the bones of the song strong enough that this song could stand up with an acoustic guitar and a singer, or a piano and a singer. And I think in this case, the answer is yes, because it's got strong melodies. It's got, the rapping part is fairly structured and strong and precise. So definitely, I think you could just grab an acoustic guitar and play this at an open mic, and it would be a perfectly good song. You don't necessarily need the blast beats, and the crazy stuff, right?
Yeah. That's a good way of looking at it, is how it sounds like when it's stripped down, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine the rehearsals must be pretty intense, because this isn't just the kind of music you can just sort of like jam out.
No.
No, we leave sweating. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the part, I mean, that being said, the production is very high quality. Like everything's like nailed into place and very, very, and very precise.
Yeah, that's Kevin. He's a great producer.
Did the producer help a lot with sort of the writing or the arrangements?
He does it with the arrangements, yes, 100%. We try not to overproduce our songs, and especially being our first album as a collective band, he probably helped out a little bit more than he's going to have to in future projects, but that was part of the learning process as well, right? To make sure that we're coming out with more tools than when we went in. But yes, arrangement-wise, he did help out quite a bit to make sure that things were put in place, right? We had all the riffs and everything like that, but he made sure it was cohesive. And in terms of writing, like he doesn't touch too much on the raps, but he'll help with like when it comes to the choruses to make sure that like not always the melody, this one on the melody, he didn't have to help, but he made sure that certain words travel right. Like we'll tweak the words. We'll make sure that we've got the right phrasing, the right pacing, so he'll make sure that at least when it comes for the chorus that he gets involved on the lyric side as well.
Right. And then that sort of feedback from a producer then translates into your live performance, doesn't it?
100%.
Yeah. That's the really good thing. That's a good sign of a good producer, but it's good for your band as well, because working with a good producer like that, that pays attention to the musical detail is not just the mix,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Not just the sonic properties of things, but how the song translates and how it comes across. Because like given how complex the verses in your song are, I was kind of curious if if you needed to dial back the chorus, like was the chorus at some point, was it just as complicated? Was it just as words? No, it was
no.
Yeah.
What you hear in the chorus, that pacing, that phrasing was pretty much there. It was just mostly just choosing which words on this one. There's a couple of tweaks, but not much, just to make sure that we got certain lines across. I think the psychotic, you got it, right? Like he helped out with that to make it just sound more conversational, because
right.
if you don't have those lines where it feels like you're talking to the audience, it doesn't always translate as well. So it was like little things like that. But no, I didn't go with a million words on the chorus that we had to pull back on. But yeah, and I would say Kevin is he's like a member of the band for sure, 100%. He's an instrumental part to what we do, and like you said, that's how we prefer it. We rather have someone who's going to be part of the process than someone who's just going to hit a button at the end of the day. So
yeah, for sure.
And when you work with a producer, especially if it's the first time, you'll often discover how much you overplay, which so many bands do. They're just playing all the time, and you got to stop playing once in a while. It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know that if you're just in, 5 guys in a band in a room, just kind of blasting away. You think everyone should be playing all the time.
Yeah.
Space is powerful, when you strip things down, and we've heard it in other songs too, right? Like you start removing things and suddenly it starts sounding bigger, and it's the opposite that you would assume. But the less you put, the bigger it feels.
Yeah, that's
if you're playing at 7 for your verses and you dial it up to 9 out of 10 for your choruses. Imagine if you played 3 for your verses.
Yeah.
And dialed it up to 7 for your choruses, and then dialed it up to 10 for your bridge. There's a great, especially with heavy music. Like I admit I'm more of a fan of like 90s grunge than heavy metal per se. But those grunge guys, like they really knew how to keep it really whisper quiet in the verses and then load a wall of sound in the choruses. Like they had an enormous dynamic range. You think of it as loud music, but it's not loud all the time.
Yeah.
Incredibly dynamic.
But there's contrast out there in listener land.
Contrast.
Make use of your contrast, big and loud, high and low. That makes the difference. So this is going to be the first single off the release.
We've got the singles out, the album's out. So at this point, the whole album's ready for people to feast on. They can go get whatever they want. Listen to any song that they want.
Figured this music videos?
Yeah, there's two music videos, possibly a third in the works. There's one with the wrestling Apex, another one called Break. Those are out there. You can watch them on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook, Fatal.Switch on Instagram, TikTok, you name it. We're on all the social platforms.
Cool.
You gotta be.
Yeah. Okay. I'm here in the band. I think it's all the time we have on Song Talk Radio. Special thanks to Steve Tobin and Fatal Switch. So where's the best place for listeners to hear your music and check out the videos and
Spotify
stuff?
is a great place. YouTube's a great place. So stick to Spotify or YouTube. You can stream us there. Thank you guys so much for having me. It's been a real pleasure to talk with you and your audience and share a little bit more about how I write songs.
Yeah,
Amazing.
well, and thank you for representing the whole metal community. So basically, you're the spokesperson for those people.
There you go. Hopefully, it did it well.
Listen to this one episode, you understand everything there is to know about metal.
That's right. That's it. That's all you need.
That's all you need to know. It's not more complicated than this. We want to hear from you too. So please send in your comments on Facebook or Instagram to @SongTalkRadio. Or send us an email, feedback@songtalk.ca. Also, be sure to check out our YouTube channel for live performance videos and full episodes. Subscribe today to the Song Talk Radio podcast on your favorite podcast provider. And please support us at our Patreon page. You can visit songtalk.ca/support. Thank you to everyone who supported us so far. And please join us at our next monthly Song Talk meetup. If you're in Toronto for our in-person meetups or anywhere in the world for our online meetups, it's free to join on Eventbrite and free to attend. Bring a song and a lyric sheet and get constructive feedback from other songwriters. Visit songtalk.ca/meetup to register. You can follow me at neilmodi.com. You can follow Phil.
PhilEmery.ca.
And Steve, what's Fatal Switch's favorite social media platform? Where do you guys post the most?
I would say Instagram, fatal.switch.
Fatal.switch. Okay, be sure to follow the guys on Instagram there. And be sure to stop by the website, songtalk.ca, to browse past shows and find out how you can be a guest. Thanks for tuning in, and keep on writing.
We're out.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, that's cool
Thanks,
stuff.
guys.
Huh?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's
it
cool
was
stuff.
awesome.
Must have been great working with, someone who worked with the Beasties and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run-DMC. I mean, the Beasties are just amazing, man.
Yeah.
Their stuff is so solid. You know, like there's not a lot of filler in it. I don't think it's great.
They found their sound and they ran with it. You know. That's,
Yeah. And no one else does quite what they do. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Well, and one of them's passed away. I think.
MCA. Yeah.
Which is so sad. Yeah, he was pretty young. It's,
Cancer. Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible. But I saw a video of them playing live, and they put on an amazing show. I mean, they get on stage and they don't stop until they finish. I mean, they're not phoning it in at all. It's just, great stuff.
Full tilt.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant stuff.
Amazing. All right.
Yeah, so it takes a while for us to edit the show, and then we will send you an email once it's launched. And if you could share it on your socials, that would be
Of course.
awesome.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Look forward to
Tell your
seeing
friends
it.
about us. We want to have more metal on the show.
Okay, cool. Sure. No problem.
Absolutely.
I'll tell Sarah she's got lots of contacts for you.
Please do.
We've been getting the emails from her and stuff, so it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Steve.
All right, thanks so much.
Have a good night, Steve.
Take care, guys.
I know.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.